Welcome, welcome. And if you're feeling a little stressed, you've stumbled upon the right episode because today we're talking all about stress. So why don't we all just take a second and have a communal oh as we
Oh,
dive in to de-stressing and also how to just avoid stressful situations to begin with. And at the end, in celebration of Crystal's birthday that had just passed 2 days ago, we're going to play a quick game. Who knows Crystal the best? I don't like my chances, but we'll see what happens. I want to stress this in our stress episode that we're not dummies. Through our experiences and also just through life, we feel like we have some tips and advice for you guys about dealing and managing stress. Now, to introduce our first non expert, we have Crystal.
hey guys. Hope you're enjoying the holiday season and glad you're joining us today to talk about stress. And over there is Steven.
What's going on, everyone? How's everyone doing? First and foremost, happy belated Crystal. Happy birthday.
Hey.
And today, our host is Jun.
Now, I'm not just saying this because I'm the host, but this might just be our best episode yet. And we are now on the line. Stress is a part of life, and whether you deal with it at work, at school, with friends, with family, it gets its grubby little paws on just basically every aspect of life. So, we want to talk about ways to de stress. And I know what we're all going to want to say is we're going to want to say, just put on your favorite On the Line episode and just listen to every single one of them on YouTube, on Spotify, on Anchor, and on Apple Podcasts. But other than that, how do you guys actually de-stress yourself?
I'm going to go and start with a basic technique, and it is the breathing technique. Just breathe. I think when we're stressed out, we forget that sometimes we just need a little oxygen, get the air our body needs, and just relax. So let me do a breathing technique. It's called the 478 breathing technique. I'm going to have John and Steven do it right now. You breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold your breath for 7, and then you
Oi.
exhale really slow for 8. So let's do that together. You're gonna breathe in through your nose and you exhale through your mouth. So breathe into your nose for 4 seconds. Ready? One, two, three, four. Hold for 7. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7. Release through your mouth. 8. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Y'all feel more relaxed?
A little relaxed.
Yeah, I feel a little more out of shape.
Definitely, if you guys are in bed and you don't know, like if you're in bed and you can't really fall asleep, doing that 478 technique really helps me because you get really tired from like holding your breath. You get
Yeah,
more calm. So, and there's a bunch of breathing techniques out there. So, I definitely recommend just pure breathing techniques to de stress yourself.
I think breathing techniques definitely like is you just got to take that time just and that's why people like to do like that stuff cuz while you do that, you kind of just you forget. You just kind of relax to that point where all you're doing is basically thinking about breathing.
yep.
So a way that I like to de-stress myself is playing video games. I love it. It's my favorite way to get out of some stress. And although you might, from the outside looking in, you might be seeing me and playing games, and I'm just like, God, and you're like, how is that de-stressing? But it's just a way to just throw out all those other emotions that say I can't throw out at work or just in public or whatever. I can throw it out while I'm playing a game. That's what I like to do. I like to play video games, whether it be sports games or shooter games, things like that. It's a way that I can throw out some unwanted emotions in a kind of healthy way.
That's a great outlet. Like you said, you can't let those emotions go when you're at work or where you're out in public. So doing that at home, playing video games and feeling that rush of emotion that you can just kind of expel into a video game is great. I personally de-stress myself through that mode quite often, so it's great.
Take it out on Chris Paul.
I literally was saying yesterday that I want to do one of those things where you go somewhere and you just break everything. Go inside and you like smash some glass and you freaking take an axe, destroy something. I'm pretty sure there's like places that do that where you just release
It's like
stress
Demolition
by
Crew.
breaking stuff. Would you guys ever do that? Like, I feel like that's super fun.
That's something that sounds really interesting and therapeutic. Get some stress off my chest, go into a room like by myself and just break a bunch of glassware or destroy like some tables or some TVs.
I think it's definitely something that sounds real fun to do because I mean, I wouldn't want to do it like like demoing just like say like a kitchen or a room or whatever. That would be a lot of fun, but I also don't want to do it where like I actually have to finish the demolition cuz I can only imagine that like I'm trying to tear through a wall and it's fun at first, but then you're like, okay, I got so much more wall to do. So yeah, I wouldn't mind doing it like in a situation where I can just come in, pop, 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 and then walk out. I think no problem with that.
Yeah, there's literally places where they set up a bunch of things you could break in a room. Just break whatever you want. You could stop whenever you want.
Then just leave.
Or you could just go axe throwing.
Yeah. But if you do want to just keep it not physical, video games is another way. You could probably find a video game where you actually break things too. Be like a remodeler and just got break things virtually. That way you don't have to break things in real life.
I do play a lot of video games to de-stress myself, and then I get to that certain threshold where the video games start stressing me out. So then what I do in that situation is that I like to explain situations back to myself. How could I have killed that other person before he killed me? I also like to use this technique in real world situations. So if I'm at work and I find something that stresses me out, I take a step back. I say, we didn't meet a deadline. I could have done something to change or meet that deadline. We could have done some workarounds and basically just explain to myself what had just happened to kind of put that sense of reality back into my mind and try to de-stress myself that way. Try to limit myself of all the emotion and lay out the facts for myself. So I either like to explain the situation back to myself or maybe I'll grab someone and explain it to them. I feel like just verbalizing a stressful situation makes it that much easier to manage stress.
Definitely. I think because one of my points was just to say it out loud. Say your stress out loud. Just vocalize it. And in a way, you do that. When you explain it to yourself or you explain it to somebody else, you vocalize your stressor. And I think when you vocalize your stressor, you really kind of diminish its power. When you say things out loud, sometimes, you'll realize, it's not that terrible of a situation. Or maybe sometimes it's even funny. So I like to, the idea is to just say it out loud. It's like, I gotta run and go get groceries and then do laundry and then fold that laundry. You say that and you're like, oh wait, that's actually not that much to do. So
Yeah.
vocalize your stressors.
Yeah, honestly, if you vocalize it and you say it to someone else, all of a sudden, when you're saying it to someone else, it sounds really dumb. You're like, why am I even mad? Like, oh, this girl bumped into me and then I spilled my coffee on my shoe, but she didn't mean to. So, I mean, it's not the end of the world. And then now you're like, dang, why am I complaining about this? So just vocalizing it is actually helpful because you're like, why am I even upset about this? And also, like, if you say things out loud and you're talking with someone, you can explain it slowly. Then you can handle small things within that big stressful situation. Kind of like taking a few bites of it, digesting it, and figuring it out. Like, you can't just like eat the whole thing and choke. That's why it's stressful. You gotta take small bites.
Yeah.
Journey of a
I think
thousand steps starts with one step or something like that.
My next de-stress situation or ideal de-stress is bathing in nature. I'm pretty sure I read this in a book, one of Ryan Holiday's book is nature is literally a place where you can de-stress. Something about The human connection to nature is so positive and so relieving that everyone should do it. Just going outside for a walk or even planning a trip where you're taking a walk outside somewhere where there's a reserve or looking at the mountain, finding a place to watch the sunrise, watch the sunset. And it just really calms you down and grounds you in your life. It really de stresses you. Be out there in nature, breathe the fresh air, and just enjoy the nice sound of nature.
Breathing in fresh air is great. It helps like soothe my mind. I feel like it's food for my brain. It calms me down so much, especially if there's something to look at. I can appreciate architecture if I'm like in a big city. I can appreciate the sunrise or sunset, even like residential neighborhoods. I just like being outside.
Yeah, I think back when I was in school, when I was extremely stressed here, I biked from my place in Brooklyn to school, and there was like this 40-minute bike ride that I had going to and from. That it was just kind of me being outside, and I was just biking, and it was like, you got that nice weather. You're going across, although crossing the bridge was kind of not fun at all. Just being outside, there's like a section where I was like going downhill for a good while, and that was just my favorite part. It just, it was like the stress relief of the day. So whatever stress I had from school or whatever else, just out being out there biking outside, not purely nature, but just being outside in the fresh air did it for me.
When I think about being outside or like being in nature, I think the reason why it really de stresses me personally is that, like, say it's nighttime and I'm looking up in the night sky, or I'm just in nature, I'm looking at mountains stuff. I realize like how vast and big our earth is and our universe. Like, if you're looking up at the sky, like, we live in this huge universe, and all the things I'm stressed about are just like a blip in what our reality is. And it really doesn't matter. Like, it really puts the size of the stress and all the different things that I'm stressed about, like, it really minimizes them, because I realize, like, why am I worrying about these little things? Like, there's so much out there. Like, we're such small beings in the world. We don't spend time worrying on little things like that, because so much more out there that we live and experience, and it's not worth it. It just really makes, the problem seem so small, looking out in nature at like how big everything is.
Yeah, you really get that kind of perspective, forced onto you when you step aside and you just have that time in nature. And also, if you see other people there, you kind of you just see what everyone else is doing. There's people you might even see, and you're like, that guy's way more stressed than I am. So there's always that perspective that you can play with, and definitely being out in nature is real positive for that. I also think that there's kind of a luxury as far as being in certain parts of the world. I think with New York, you get that city life for sure, but you have these breaks in those city environments. Like you can go to Central Park and just go into the Ramble, and it's just pure nature, basically. Well, maybe not pure. It's just nature out there. You got trees and all
So
that
nice.
around. You get lost and you kind of escape the city. So you have that option that you can, go out to Brooklyn Bridge Park and see the cityscape. It's super relaxing. Or you can go to Central Park, you can go into nature and just live in the trees. Live in the trees. You can go into nature.
Just live in the trees. Climb on up there and just start living in the
Tick,
trees.
tick, tick, tick. Okay, maybe not live in the trees, but you get to be amongst trees. Okay.
It's important that when you find yourself, getting to that boiling point, you're so stressed out to just take the time that you have and go outside and be one with nature. It helps you understand how small your problems are in the grand scheme of things. And it really brings you down to earth, like Crystal said. It really does help make the stress go away.
How long do you guys feel you need to de-stress properly?
I think it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm playing video games, gotta be like 3 nights in a row. Yeah.
I don't know. It's personal preference. It's
Yeah.
like Jen, we always say like we need to decompress before doing something. Like the
Mhm.
Sunday scaries. Like you're already stressed about going back to work on Monday or starting school or whatever it is. And you just want to like decompress. And that's kind of like de-stressing yourself. You're like prepping yourself to not be stressed.
I often work on the weekends because it just happens. That's just how freelance life goes. You end up working the weekends, but I feel like I really just I want to get to that point where I never have to take a weekend job because we working the weekends. I need that time to decompress, and that's I feel like a week's worth of stress can get rid of that in like a weekend if I can just do nothing really.
I feel like vacations too. Like they should give us more vacations in work. But for some reason, just I feel like at least 1 week vacation a year if you have the luxury of doing so. It's just nice to have a 1 week to turn off your brain and de-stress yourself on a long vacation, whether that means traveling for you or if that means just relaxing on a beach. I think everybody deserves at least 1 week out of how many weeks are in a year?
52.
250.
Around 52 weeks.
Yes. Depending like in 1 year in general, I think 1 week of vacation is a good time for a week of stress, a weekend, and even just every night, an hour before you go to sleep, de-stressing yourself is a good amount of time.
I feel like that's something that kind of people don't realize when they're like, "Oh, I'm in school. I just want to go out and get a job." Is when you leave school, you don't have any breaks. There's no
Yeah.
winter break. There's no summer break. You work all the times of the year. You kind of lose that de-stress
There's
time
no summer.
before.
We
I
don't
get
got
so
the summer.
accustomed to it. You get so accustomed to it. We're like, "Oh, 2 months of summer. I can do what I want." Now it's like, "Oh, fudge. I gotta work."
If you're
I
in
don't know. I get
school
that.
and you're stressed with school, you can get your homework done, do what you need to do, and then you have winter break, summer break. You don't have class. You could take time out of your day to, calm your mind. When you're in the workforce, the only break that you have is from when you clock out to when you clock right back in. And usually you're working about 8.5 hours a day typically. So enjoy the time that you have while you're in school. The workforce, it's time's not a luxury. Before you know it, you're 40 hours worked into the week and you've done nothing to de-stress.
That's unfortunately one of those times where it's like saying it out loud doesn't help. I have to
Yeah.
work today from this time to this time, and then I have to work that time again tomorrow, and the next
Oh
day,
no.
and the next day.
Millennials, how are we doing? Are y'all okay? Like, it's okay if you're not okay. It's really stressful these days.
Just go outside. Maybe even don't bring your phone.
So now that we talked about ways to de-stress, we're actually going to go ahead and try to nip it in the bud. Why be stressed in the first place? We're going to talk about ways to prevent stressful situations to begin with.
What I've learned to handle stressful or prevent stressful situations from happening is to just keep reminding myself to learn to live with what I can't control. This person showed up late to work, so now I have to work double time until that person comes. I've learned to live with what I can control. So knowing that this person's coming in late, I can prioritize all the things that I need to do, schedule it out, and make sure that I'm not pushing these more stressful things off for later on in the future and getting it done early on. So planning all the work that I have in front of me, those are the things that I can control. Having that person come in on time, I can't control that. So there's no point for me to stress over it.
Yeah, you know who you are. Stop coming late. You're stressing
I
us
hate
out.
Freaking
it.
roasting this Scott person.
Yeah.
Who is this guy? Freaking make it to work on time.
Hey
Get
man.
to work.
My
Jesus. Why don't you start
God.
vocalizing? You need to get to
Uh,
work early.
How are you rolling in with a Starbucks every day? Like, come on.
Show up
Order
late.
through the app.
Oh man, I had a huge breakfast.
Oh
What?
my god.
Hey! I had to skip. I skipped breakfast to make it on time. You
That
should do the
Starbucks I went
same.
to didn't have freaking oat milk, so I had to go to a different one.
You know what, Johnny? That's my last straw.
So you just gotta learn to live with certain things. That's just a perspective that you need to keep because trying to control things that you can't is just going to add unnecessary stress that obviously you can't control. What you can do is come prepared because it takes some of that stress level lower down. Because if you know if you're going to have something tough happen, a tough day, or you have a tough situation coming up, just come prepared. You know what you're going to go up against.
Definitely. And I'll throw this in right now. To be prepared, to come prepared, that means to plan, plan, plan. Plan for every situation. You got to think about all the different situations that could happen and all the things that might happen. And you need to plan what you're going to do in every situation. You got to plan for the weather conditions.
Yeah, if you know that there's a chance it's gonna rain today, bring an umbrella to work. Come prepared.
Sometimes when you're planning stuff, you got to plan for other people's schedules, other people's preferences, whatever. Like say Robert doesn't like running or walking too much, and there's going to be a lot of walking. Make sure Robert has some good shoes. Make sure there's some places where you can rest, account for extra time that he might need to rest. You got to account for all these different people and they're different. Everybody's different. You got to account for everybody. Whatever's going to happen in the amount of time it takes for one thing to get done, the longest person's time is how long that's going to take. So you always have to account for everybody's time situation,
You're
you know?
only as strong as your weakest link.
Exactly. Exactly. Gotta plan for
Johnny.
all of those. Always plan, be prepared, think about the weather, think about everyone else in your group, and think about all the other people that might happen. If you're prepared for every situation, it'll be less stressful because at least you'll have an idea of what you can do to fix it.
Yeah. And also if you plan, you actually think about all the things that will stress you out. And when you think about things that will stress you out, when it happens that day, you already know it's going to happen. It doesn't hit you out of nowhere. So it's not as stressful if you know that something's going to happen beforehand.
You think about it before and you plan, you've successfully prepared for that situation to happen. You can control all the things that you have the power to control.
What happens when the plans go off the rails and the train falls off the freaking mountain? And now the plans have all been screwed and you haven't prepared for this.
Well, what you want to do is what I call route recalculation. Route recalculation.
Alright. One more time for the people in the back.
A root or a calculation. So you are good at calculation, but you need to sometimes recalculate, attack from a different angle. There's just different ways you can solve different problems. If it comes in and you plan for this way and it doesn't work, don't just keep trying to force it in. Switch it up. Do something different. And also, when you're thinking about things to do, you're thinking about solving the problem instead of dwelling in the stress that you're having because it keeps you active. When you plan, you make a route recalculation. You put your mind and all your pretenses in something else other than stress.
And if you have like people around you, use your resources. Tell these people like, what this is the problem. What are we gonna do? Let's have some options. Mind meld. Have all these people give their ideas. You don't have to think about everything by yourself if it's a bunch of people in one situation. Work together to find that route calculation.
Group route recalculation.
It's easy to do this when you have a group of people brainstorming on a certain recalculation. You're able to at least maybe even see some facts. Maybe
Oh.
even root recalculation. You're able to at least hear what other people have to offer. They can even see the same things that you see, but they might present it in a way where you haven't thought about it. So if you have to make an actual recalculation in your route because of traffic, because of an accident, weather, what have you, maybe someone could say, actually, we can go around the traffic and hop right back on the highway. You could take the fact, remove all the stress from the traffic, seeing on your phone, Google Maps, whatever. It's going to take a long time to get to work. Fact of the matter is, you can hop off the highway and get on somewhere else and continue on your way.
So like you just take the facts and like reorganize it so you can get that recalculation, right? Because like first we're in a blunder. Now we're saving lives. What?
Yeah.
What?
First we're in the blunder.
Yeah.
Now we're saving lives.
What?
Yeah, take those facts. Take those facts and
Thank you.
Blend
blend
it
it.
all up. Blend it all up because
Thank
now
you.
we're saving lives.
Yeah, and also a thing about taking the facts is that when you take in account the facts of situations you have, it leads. It's like an AA meeting. Hi, I'm Nestor. I'm sitting in traffic. I'm gonna be late. It leads to acceptance. This is the facts. You are sitting in traffic. You're gonna be late for work. Just accept it.
Exactly. You just got to take it for what it is. And when you think about life, it's never going to go up to the expectations you want. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. Your life isn't going to be perfect. No one owes you anything. The world isn't fair. Whoever told you that life was going to be fair, it's not. Life is never fair. No one's life is fair. And the only way to kind of tone it down, the disappointment and the stress and everything that comes
You
with
sound
the
stressed.
life not being perfect is setting the expectations low. Don't expect life to be perfect. Don't expect everything to go as planned. Expect things to go wrong and
Yep.
set the expectations low because now you're prepared to know that you knew this was going to happen. Things, of course, this would happen.
Of course.
Why not?
That's just how life works.
Because why not?
Why not?
Why not? It's Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law is if something's going to go wrong, if something can go wrong, it will go wrong. And that is how you should go through life. Murphy's Law. Set your expectations low and if something can go wrong, expect that it will. And you won't be as surprised or stressed. You were already expecting it to go wrong.
And it's not so negative in that way because if you come in with low expectations, sometimes things don't go wrong and they go pretty well. So if you have those
Yeah.
low expectations, actually like, whoa, that was fantastic. It's like if you ever gone to a movie and you're like, I don't really know what this movie is about. I don't really care for it. And you come out and you're like, whoa, that was a pretty good movie. Versus like you come into a movie, you're like, this is gonna be the movie of the century. And you're like, actually, that movie Cena Bro sucked. So it's also a
Ain't it,
positive
dog?
side. It's just kind of reeling yourself in so that you can expect a little lower that when something good happens, blows your mind.
That's a really good way that I use to prevent like stressful situations from happening is to kind of eliminate those quote unquote standards that have been put in place. Kind of like how, television commercials are like this movie is the movie of the year, movie of the summer, movie of the
A
decade.
movie of
And
the
like
summer.
Jun said, you go watch the movie and you're like, that wasn't the movie of the century. So I actually don't like it. By setting your expectations low, by eliminating those standards, I feel like you can prevent stressful situations from happening and kind of, managing your perspective to a point where, you're open to a new situation and not so much seeing, all the negative connotation that may come with something that you didn't expect.
So now that we just talked about preventing stressful situations, let's not follow any of that and start our journey into a more stressful situation because we're going to be celebrating Crystal's birthday, which happened 2 days ago. And we're going to play a little game of who knows Crystal better.
All right, everyone. I'm going to stress these boys out.
Oh man.
See Who knows me better? So what I'm gonna do is I have 10 questions. I'm gonna read a question. They're both gonna write it down, and I'm gonna 3, 2, 1. They're gonna show it and say it so that our listeners can hear it because we got some YouTube watchers and some listeners.
Podcasts.
Basically, a podcast, and we'll see who has the most points by the end of this.
Yikes.
We'll have some tallies going on the screen if you guys are watching. If not, we will let you know what the score is at the end. Y'all ready?
I need to do some breathing
Here.
technique.
Yeah,
Oh.
let me get
Let
You
me
need a
get some
bad
video
really quick?
games. Yeah.
All right. Question number 1. What is my favorite TV show of all time?
Oh, let's go, baby.
3, 2, 1.
Gilmore Girls.
You have to fall in love, feeling lonely
Lonely
in
and
the
so
town.
cold. All you have to do is call
Ding, ding, ding,
out
ding, ding, ding,
and I'll
ding.
be there. Very well done. Well done.
Yeah.
Points all
Let's go.
points all around.
Gilmore
All right.
Girls.
Number 2. I feel like this is easy. What color was my room in our old house before I painted it purple? Why are you laughing? It's so embarrassing. I'm freaking exposing myself.
If you have to fall in love,
Ready?
feeling lonely.
3, 2, 1.
I got lime green.
I got
What'd you
lime
say?
green.
Hey, points all around.
That was her color of the room. We weren't shooting anything in chroma key. We weren't putting her in the top of the Sears Tower. She just liked the color.
I just wanted. I didn't even take advantage of it either. Like I didn't like green screen anything. I definitely could have. Third question.
All right.
What was my first ever job, not including babysitting? First ever real job.
What?
I'll give you points if you just do the company.
I think I got it. I think.
Maybe.
Oh my gosh.
I don't
I
know.
think I got it.
Company I've never worked for.
I don't know.
3, 2, 1.
Hollister.
Hollister.
Well done.
Let's go.
Hey, everybody.
This is going way better than I expected.
Welcome to the pier.
You guys are familiar with how Jen and I answer questions that
It
Crystal
gets a little
asks.
harder. It gets a little harder later. All right, this
3-3,
one's hard.
everybody.
This is
3-3.
hard. What was my first ever
Ye-
dream job? My dream job, first ever. I like knew it as like
Oh,
wanna
how
say-
we've fallen.
middle school, elementary school. I was like, oh, this is what I want to be when I grow up.
You said middle school?
Like, yeah, middle school, elementary school.
Elementary school.
Yep.
I
I'm
didn't know you in
Before-
elementary
I'm
school.
stressed. I'm
Before
stressed.
Steven knew me.
Okay, I'm gonna vocalize my stress right here. I don't know the answer to this question.
Guys, I've definitely mentioned it because it was my number one answer for like we had to take like a what you would be best at test in middle school, and this was number one, and I was like, oh, this is what I want to be. It was too easy in the beginning.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Time for a recalculation.
All right. I've
All
got
right.
some
3, 2, 1, go.
I wrote psychiatrist.
Meh.
I put party planner.
That's so close. That was my second. That was what I want to do now. Still, honestly. My first ever dream job was a fashion designer.
Fashion designer.
Designers.
I always wanted to design dresses and stuff, and took a sewing class.
Boy,
You wanted
was
to
that never
design
gonna
that?
happen.
Yeah.
I still know how to sew. Fun
That
fact.
boy, was that never gonna happen.
You're so rude. Question number 5. Which bone in my body did I break when I was younger? Yes, everyone. I broke a bone when I want to say 3 years old.
I've
Y'all
yet to
ready?
form memories yet, so this is just by word of mouth.
All right. 3, 2, 1. What's it say?
Lower leg.
I
Done.
said foot.
Done. What the freak? My foot. It was my leg. I will take lower leg. It was
Let's
my.
go.
It was whatever the bone in my shin is. What is that? Radius?
No, that's
Tibula,
Tibia.
fibula.
Fibula?
Tibia.
Tibia. Yeah. I broke that leg. I actually don't know which leg. So whatever. One of my legs I would accept in
Probably the
leg.
fibula.
Well
I think
done.
that's connected to the foot
Okay.
bone.
So what? Steven has
Whoa, baby.
3.
4. Jen has 3.
4. Count them 4.
What was the name of my first ever best friend that feel like I still consider her my best friend ever? And honestly, she was a sister. Spelling counts. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm in a
I'm just
cycle.
kidding.
I'm stressed.
I'm just
Turn
kidding.
on the video games.
Go ahead. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Joanna.
I put Grisdelin.
Joanna was a good guess, but I never really. I don't know. I was thinking June Wet, my bestest friend ever, ever, ever.
Sorry, Joanna. You didn't make
You
it.
guys heard it here. Grisdelin,
that?
I know you're watching this.
I
You
was
are
pushing
not
for you.
the one.
June
I
Wet.
was rooting for you the whole way. The whole
Yeah.
way I rooted for
June
you.
Wet
I
is
remember you,
literally-
Joanna.
I love Joanna and I love
She
Gris.
said sister, didn't she? Who's June Wet's
June Wet.
sister?
June Wet is definitely my sis forever. I even told
Oh,
you like
she
I-
was like a sister.
yeah, she was like a
Gotcha.
sister. I even told you like if there was another soulmate for me, it's her.
Yeah.
Like, soulmate.
I was just more so focusing on the whole first thing.
What country do I want to visit during Christmas time one day?
Oh, I don't know
Bruh.
what country it's in.
You can give me the
You said during
actual-
Christmas?
Yeah, you could give me the city too if you know the city.
I don't know how to spell.
If you could say it, I've said this to both
Now
of you.
my guess is wrong because how would someone not be able to say this?
I want to. I told both of you that I wanted to go here for Christmas one year. This place.
I think I got it.
I don't know. This is a wild
Done.
guess.
Hey.
3, 2, 1.
Edinburgh.
Greece.
It's Edinburgh, Scotland.
Scotland. Let's go. You going to
Yeah.
Edinburgh?
Well done. Edinburgh. And that's so funny because Jen said, bruh, at the very beginning.
Yeah.
I was
He's
like,
like,
oh, he
bruh.
got it. I was like, he got it.
Yo,
Bruh.
I was way off.
Okay.
If you just wrote
Greece.
bruh.
In a perfect world where money wasn't an issue, how many kids would I want?
There's no chance. How many numbers could there be, right?
All
Know how
right,
Greece
ready?
went? This is just
Yeah.
about how Greece is gonna go.
Ready?
Same level.
3, 2, 1, go.
6.
What?
5.
It's 5.
Nice.
Let's go!
Well done. I want 5, but I probably will only have 4 or 3. I really want 5.
So what's the tally
The
here?
score is
Well, what's this-
4 to 5.
4 to 5. Okay. Okay, this one's hard. I don't think either of you know this, so it might just be
What?
a guess. You might be able to think about it if I
Hey guys,
talk
we're gonna
about
have a test, but we're gonna give you a question that we never talked about.
it.
Congratulations.
Well, how many families have I babysat or nannied for?
No chance.
Is Hollister a family?
No.
A family of lagunas. How many numbers could there be?
3, 2, 1.
4.
Wow.
Wrong
Incorrect.
answer.
It was 5.
Dang it!
5.
Dang it. I was gonna write 5, but
Is the goal to get the right answer or get the answer the other person said?
yeah, Jen and I are good at that.
If I could quit my job right now and do anything I want for income, what would that be?
Besides working on the line podcast, of course.
Exactly. Alrighty.
Wait.
Yeah,
Wait.
cross my I's and dot my T's.
3, 2, 1. What does it say?
Party planner.
I wrote wedding or party planner.
Wow. Well done. I would have accepted wedding planner or party planner. Well done.
Nice. So my answer gets accepted twice, correct?
No, it's just one.
So that's the question I thought you asked before. That's why I put it. So
Oh. No, that's what I want to do now.
miscommunication.
This is the last question.
Oi.
Done. You have to get this right. Steven has to get this wrong to be tied. I will give you the points if you are within 10. Okay.
What?
How many Instagram followers do I currently have?
Jesus Christ.
My main Instagram account. How many followers do
Within
I?
10. Why can't it be within
No.
100,000?
Okay, I'll do
Yeah.
within 50. Within 50.
My goodness.
Who is paying attention?
How many points do I get if I nail it to the freaking number?
If you nail it to
Exact?
the T, exact,
You
that's
win.
impressive. You
I'm
win.
going for the 50 around.
All right, you guys got something?
Sure.
All
I
right.
might be missing a 0, but
3, 2, 1, go.
I wrote 680.
650.
What the freak? You guys have no points. You have no faith in me.
What?
Are you kidding me?
That's a lot of followers.
You feel insulted by that?
I
That's a
do.
lot.
I do. I have exactly 934 followers on Instagram.
At the time
Let's
of
count
recording.
how many 50s. Who's got 50, like the least amount of 50s that are closer?
No,
I think we're both
guys
wrong.
are both
I think we're both
fair.
wrong. I think we're both wrong. Let's cut it there.
Wow.
Yeah.
600, I guess.
Hey,
active
I don't know
followers.
if I've met 600 people in my life.
All right. Well, we ended the score 6-5. There was 11 questions. You guys did about 50%. It's not bad, not great, but I mean, I guess I'll accept that Steven got one question more since we are engaged.
Hey! Congratulations.
Congratulations. You. Congratulations to you.
Yeah, congratulations to me.
Well, that's it. Thanks for doing my trivia.
Although I came out a loser, what I'm going to do is implement one of our advice tips. Hi, I'm Nestor, and I lost that trivia game. So thanks everybody for watching this episode about stress. Hopefully you can take this advice and you can de-stress your life a little bit. Make sure that, you take a step outside, you enjoy nature, you do everything you need to do, from breathing techniques all the way to playing video games and destroying people online. And also, just make sure you might want to just look for ways to prevent the situation in the beginning. Make sure you plan and you do what you can. Control what you can control to make the situation just a little less stressful. So let's make sure we all de-stress by watching our previous episodes of On the Line podcast or listening to them. You can de-stress your life. And we're going to explain again the giveaway that we are having this December season.
So guys, we are giving away 2 $50 Visa gift cards for you to use this holiday season or after the holiday season. And you can get a chance to win one of those gift cards by following us on Instagram, subscribing to our YouTube channel, and filling out the form in our Linktree link. So make sure you guys do that so you can get entered to win a $50 gift card. Thank you for supporting us.
And you can double your chances to win this $50 gift card by commenting down below. Write it down, OTL Giveaway 2021. We will be announcing the 2 winners of our $50 gift cards later on this month. on December 22nd. So make sure you get your 2 chances to enter into this giveaway.
And if you like content like this, please follow us on all our social medias. We are on the line on all of our channels, but we would really love it if you subscribe and follow us on Instagram. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We'll see you in the next. Bye. Now, what button do I press? Did I do that?